Hi guys. So today we're actually changing a whole bunch of stuff up. I've got a new laptop. I got a whole new bunch of recording equipment. I'm able to record in 4K. So a lot of new changes. Change of venue. I'm in my living room instead of my bedroom. So a lot of new exciting changes. But with change comes the fear of change, and I'm terrified of the results of this video because I won't know about any of the problems until I get to the editing phase, and that's just fantastic for me. So I do apologize if there are any issues with like the audio or anything like that. Please point them out. That really does help. It's not like you're being mean. I really, really do appreciate the advice I get from people. So anyway, let's get into the other parts of my content that are changing, because I've got some good news, like actual good news, right? I know I talk a lot about like bad news, but this time I think we should enjoy some good news because it's something that I truly believe in. This is something that has affected me in multiple different ways in my life, and I want to share it with you all so you can at least not be completely hopeless in this dark, cruel world. So let's just get into it. Let's see. Let me switch scenes. There we go. Also, I love this. I'm able to broadcast to my 4K TV while I look at my laptop screen so I can actually see what the fuck's going on. Yeah, cool. Alright, also let me get comfortable. Oh, make sure you guys can't see out my skirt. Okay, cool. So, new California law creates opportunities to waste less food. For those who have watched my cooking streams, I actually talk about food waste and food economy quite a lot. People waste a lot of food. Things like organ meats and like bones for the bone marrow and whatnot. They're totally edible. Well, maybe not the bones themselves. You do have to do additional stuff to them. But the point is, we can make things from them. We don't have to go throw them out. There's totally things that are totally edible we can make from them. So this is something that kind of goes along with that, and it makes me happy that we're wasting less food. That can go to to people who are in desperate need of food. Oh, I apologize. Still getting used to my new setup. I'm sorry. Excellent. So in San Diego, California, boo, California. Yeah, I know. Everyone's going to complain. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, it was estimated that 35 million people across the country suffered from food insecurity, which is absolutely fucking dreadful. There are so many people that go either malnourished or hungry every day, and it's disgusting that we don't really do anything about it other than just complain, really, and let people suffer. I don't think that's right. Um, so the number has only increased since then. Well, we all experienced that at the beginning of the pandemic, which supply chains is completely falling shit. A new law in San Diego could set the stage for how the country starts to deal with food waste. I really do hope this becomes a countrywide thing. This will improve the lives of so many people. Literally millions of people will benefit from this. Um, Thousands of pounds of food go through a Feeding San Diego facility every day. Patty O'Connor, the chief supply chain officer at Feeding San Diego, says her dad was a huge inspiration to what she's doing now, which is just adorable, isn't it? That's so nice. My father, who is no longer with us, was doing his own rescue like 15, 20 years ago. He was going to Trader Joe's every Tuesday and Saturday morning at 6:30 to pick up their leftover food because he knew they were going to throw it away. And he and another elderly gentleman would drive to a local charity actually and give it to them every Thursday and every Friday. That's beautiful. What her father didn't know was that his passion would foreshadow a new law in San Diego. Ooh, one man made a change, right? You can actually do it. The law, which will go into effect. Oh, sorry, I skipped the line. He was ahead of the curve. I didn't know that until the day he died. So, rip, FFFFF. The law, which will go into effect at the beginning of 2022, so literally right now, requires grocery stores and other food suppliers to donate all edible food waste to a food rescue organization or food bank. Fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful. The big picture of the law is really wonderful, and it's a win-win all round. Yeah, there's literally no downside to this. I can see someone complaining about this, but they're not thinking about the bigger picture, right? Um, oh, I'm gonna mess up this guy's name. John Vodova, the director of corporate affairs at Ralph's Grocery Stores, explains how they've been participating in the work for more than 4 years. Good for you, dude. Thank you for taking the initiative. The main thing is that we felt was validation, Vodova said. Because we had started our Zero Hunger, Zero Waste social impact plan through all our stores, through the Kroger company, but specifically here at Ralph's, and this is what we've been doing since 2017, collecting the food and making sure it stays out of landfills and gets in the hand of people who need it the most. Yeah, because otherwise it's going to go to the landfills, and only seagulls and, microorganisms benefit from it, and we, the macroorganisms of us, to benefit from it the most. He believes real change can only be done if every major supplier works together, which is something this law will mandate. Heck yeah. It's very heartening to know that this food is going to be used for good. It's going to make this a better place in Southern California by getting rid of the greenhouse gases, getting trucks off the roads, and just making this a better place to live. Having been to California and seeing what a state is in Southern California, it's about fucking time. Don't want to rag on them too hard. They're doing a good thing here, I think. According to Recycle Track Systems, the U.S. discards more food than any other country, nearly 40 million tons, which is 80 billion pounds every. Oh god, it makes me sick. That's estimated to be about 30 to 40% of the entire U.S. food supply. That's a significant percentage. Oh my word! I didn't even know it was that number. Fucking hell. That equates to about 219 pounds of waste per person. That's as if every person in America threw away more than 650 average-sized apples into the garbage, or right into landfills, because that's where most discarded food ends up. That's fucking despicable that we do that. We are such a wasteful society, aren't we? 70% of the food we are distributing was donated food, and as far as what we expect, this is a big question that everyone has. How much more is this going to increase? Hopefully a lot more. Said O'Connor said, so Patty O'Connor, doing God's work. We all know it'll be a lot more because there's still an excessive amount of waste going to landfills. Food waste has been irreversible environmental consequences. It wastes water and energy it took to produce and generate greenhouse gases, specifically 11% of the world's emissions. Jeez, I don't know about that, but sure. I don't know. I'm not going to question it. I'm not an expert, but it's just like, I want to see some working on that one. According to World Wildlife Federation, the production of food waste in the United States is equivalent to the greenhouse emissions of 37 million cars. That's a fuckload. That's a lot. Since this bill was announced, O'Connor says they have received call after call from suppliers who had yet to be involved in this food rescue. It's something that people just weren't realizing. We don't think about it, right? First of all, how much food is wasted every day in our state and in the country, but also how it's not that hard to donate it, right? If you have a process in place like we have, and you work with food recovery organizations like Feeding San Diego, Feeding America Banks throughout California, it's really possible to do it. So there's very little economic impact in the grocery stores. If they're working with the charities, I bet the charities will put in the effort to go pick up this food. It will cost them very minimal in order to make this a viable goal for everyone to participate in. Because I can already hear the naysayers being like, oh, it's going to cost too much. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think that people really do want to make an impact, and they'll make it viable because this matters. First of all, how much food is wasted every day in our state and in our country, but also it's how it's not that hard to donate. If you have the process, wait, hang on. Oh, I've read that part already. I'm stupid. There we go. Okay. She hopes this pushes other cities to move in the same direction, however. She points out that people don't need a law to make a change. The sad part is it had to be a mandate. I know people are like, it's tyranny to have mandates. Really? It's tyranny to have to not waste food that wastes energy and destroys our environment and makes people suffer when they don't have any food. Really, that's tyranny. You got a very confusing idea of tyranny if you believe that. Oh my word. Yeah, I know that's a straw. Like someone's gonna claim that's a straw man, but there are people that would complain about having to help people because they're of course they would be. There are food rescue organizations throughout the country already doing this kind of work. Currently, California isn't the only state working to curb food waste. Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, Rhode Island, and Vermont have all passed laws. States like Tennessee, Washington, and Wisconsin have created task forces. So this isn't just California, which is good. I know people like to rag on California all the time, but it's not just them, right? This is an idea that's been thought about apparently quite a lot, right? Looks like we're done. So cool. So yay. Okay, sorry. Just takes a second on the other side to update. So yeah, this is an amazing thing, I believe. Like if this could be a instead of a mandate, this could just be something that everyone volunteers into. That'd be great. But if it has to be a mandate, it has to be a mandate. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it robs people's freedom to do this. There are once people realize that, oh, this is actually viable if we all volunteer and we all work together and we all just kind of work towards this. This doesn't have to be a mandate. Now the information's out there and everyone's like in this area is aware of it. Like it shouldn't have to be a mandate. Yeah, if they're not participating in it, then well, it's kind of a bad thing because well, they're creating food waste. They are indirectly causing people to suffer with starvation and now malnourishment. It's not directly their fault that people are suffering, but if you can do something about it and you don't do something about it, well, that kind of makes you a shit person, in my humble opinion. But I want to see more things like this. I want to see everyone in America getting fed well, right? We're simultaneously the fattest nation on earth, right? And yet we also have starvation. That isn't right. That's not right at all. How do we have such an unbalance like in our society where some people have and some people don't? Especially with something like food, right? Luxuries, you can argue that all day. I don't really give a shit. But something like food, that's inarguable. Everyone should be able to eat. We're not a third world country. We're supposed to be like the best country in the world according to, our propaganda. So why can't we actually be the best country in the world through our actions? I think this is a step in the right direction. And if you disagree, you are inclined to do so, that is perfectly fine. But I will not agree with you, just because I believe I've already explained my position very thoroughly. Anyway, I'm going to leave you to it, guys. I appreciate your time. I always do. Please come back for my cooking streams if you like that kind of content. Otherwise, I'll be trying to do more food-related news as we go. Thank you very much, everyone.